Hi, my name is Kyle Balitz, and I'm with Beyond Bipolar blog. It's a blog where we discuss about mental health awareness and education and things that have been going on in our lives, dealing with the mental illness, mental disorder, and just life in general. So this is a channel for my brother Travis Balitz's Beyond Bipolar blog, but I've been going through quite a bit the past 2 weeks, and I felt like this is time for me to actually talk about it. So basically it is about a relationship. I've been with this girl named Nancy. She's Hmong. I'm 6 years older than her. I'm 35. She's 29. And the status is she actually ended up moving and living on her own, and I've been going to her house every so often. But we started having issues as the relationship went on. It's not like we had any of these like huge passionate fights. It was actually none of that, but I think there's a huge caring. I just want to mention she's a great woman. She cares a lot about me, but the problem is our values don't really align, and that's why we found ourselves in a horcrux of our relationship. And I've been battling whether it's right or not for both of us. So I guess we'll talk a little bit about it. Thursday, I believe, was the day. It was actually our 2-month anniversary. We've been dating for 2 months, and I wrote and bought her a card and kind of these get well wishes kind of thing to celebrate our 2-month anniversary. I basically wrote about that it bears with me a heavy heart, that originally how we met is we met 4 years ago, but the thing is she really wasn't interested in dating me. I don't really know why, or maybe she didn't think there was a future. She really hasn't really talked much about it, or maybe she was just afraid or something. But anyway, she kind of denied my advances 4 years ago and ended up dating someone else. She fell in love with this guy that had a drug addiction. He's a Chinese guy. And the irony is 2 years ago, I ended up dating a Korean adoptee with a drug addiction, and I learned a lot. And for the most part, I don't think I could go back to it. I do wish him well, but it's not something I could do. And that was kind of some of the arguments that we had, because she feels like there's something left with him, and with me and mine, it's just done, especially after she tried to just egg me on, threatened to, my dad basically opened mail, and she kind of threatened to sue me for something, even though I thought I did a lot for her, and she just treated me pretty much like garbage. But anyway, I want to move on from that. With our relationship, Nancy and I, like I said, it bore with me a heavy heart. I was walking her dog, Bennett. She calls me Bennett's dad. He's a dog. He's a white Bichon dog, mixed breed. And anyway, I was walking and I just saw the nice houses, and I kind of realized about my lifestyle. Another thing that her and I definitely differ on is she's a lot more motivated than me. I'm kind of take every step of the day, one step at a time, and I don't really have a lot of motivation. And that's why she kind of asked me, what are my life goals? And that's when we kind of figured out what the real issues were. Even though we're great, we hardly argued, we get along. I really do appreciate her love. I guess the love making's really good, which is a positive of the relationship. We can have these really deep talks, and she did have her own set of trauma. I'm not going to bear it on this channel about what that is, but I seem to attract a lot of girls lately with trauma. I don't know why. Probably because I'm going through my own trauma too, and I don't know. Maybe they just kind of identify with it. But anyway, we connected 4 years later. We kind of just had a quick fling, and we just kind of got together really going. She's just about to move, and she moved out, and now she lives really far, and we go back and forth, and so what. But anyway, I decided to break it off Thursday because I felt like the reason why is she wants kids. So this was a huge wake-up call for me that, wow, the lifestyle that I live, like I've been on disability for 10 years. I haven't held a job more than 3 months at a time. And the problem is right now, the irony is that I was about to get a job at the airport being an IT guy just for 3 hours. But the problem is I've been on disability for 10 years and I used up all 9 of my trial work periods, and my period of eligibility, meaning if I work, I'm done. I'm done with disability. I won't have insurance. I won't be qualified for meds, and that's what has been this huge fear of what I've been trying to overcome or just kind of ignore. Well, I can't really ignore it, but it's been a huge pain. I don't know what the fuck to do with my life, because that kid thing really broke up a wake-up call. So I will say I'm not, even though in her mind she sees a paternal figure in me and she sees me in something more, but in the end it just triggered more of my, I guess, trauma, because I have held issues holding jobs. I don't make a lot of money. I have lived with dad, and there's more to it with that. The reality is kids right now take a shitload of money. It's been only 2 months in the relationship, and I know maybe it's too early to tell, but it's hard to see a future where one wants kids and the other doesn't. That's like a huge red flag. So it's been giving me to a curtail because I really like her. I feel like I'm 35 years old. I don't really have any opportunities. I mean, even with my first relationship, that who broke my heart and I broke hers, is that I told her I didn't want kids even back then. And that was like 10 years ago, because one, they just take work, and the sad thing is I just like living my own lifestyle that's simple, free, and not being tied down. I could do my hobbies like CAD stories, interviews, my art, my music, my piano, my computer stuff, everything, and I could just do what I want. And I feel like kids are going to confine me, let alone I'm a second shifter, which was another thing that she doesn't like. And we had an argument kind of about that she feels like I don't care about her because she's willing to do all these things for me, like accept my second shift job, accept my disability, be the only one that's a provider and working. And she told me multiple times, a lot of it's my own inner struggle about my own masculinity, that I'm better off being a effeminate kind of guy where I just stay at home, do my own thing. I'm more sensitive. I'm not that take action, paternal provider type figure. And that's been my struggle. And having kids, thinking about kids, it brought this huge fear of doubt, like my worthiness of a man. She did mention that she feels like she doesn't think I love her because I'm not willing to have kids for her. And I think about the kid, and if it's a kid I don't want and not one that I want to take care of, even though she may be happy having a kid, I won't be happy having a kid, and maybe the kid won't be happy, and that's really unfair for the kid itself. Because I just like my free-born vagabond lifestyle of just being free and doing what I want. Right. So anyway, like I said, this kid thing has been grinding my gears, and it's been something that she feels really sad about, because she feels like even though she always wanted kids, she's a Hmong girl, she grew up in that culture where kids are really important, where she grew up with a lot of nieces, and it made her happy. I mean, she's even willing to take care of her nieces, even though her brother-in-laws aren't that great of dads, and hell, she didn't want to wish them Happy Father's Day because she feels that way, and she's kind of mad at them, let alone they're doing questionable things, which I won't say out of respect for her and them, I guess, even though I disagree with it. But anyway, because of that, I've been going through a lot of questioning my identity. I feel like I have to get a job. I have to be a morning person. The whole reason I like to explain why I've been so normal for the past 10 years, and it wasn't that I changed, I adapted. I took part-time gigs only. I worked at jobs that were later shifts, but the thing is, she's a really early morning riser, and she likes to get things done, and she hates it when she wakes up late. She gets more depressed when she wakes up late, and I know it causes stress in a relationship, and it's not just that. I'm sure she could accept my second shift, but the problem is I still think about me forcing myself to wake up early to take care of kids, and I'm in that endless cycle. And then I think about when I go back and forth between my dad. What stressed me out is there's a lease limit on the mileage of our car too, so I felt confined at one area, and dad says don't use the car mileage, go over, but I have money left over. I mean, he has probably money too, but I'd be willing to just suspend just so I could just spend some time with her. I mean, it sucks. Like, I remember her sister said that she says that she's surprised that I don't have attachment issues, let alone my attachment issues aren't as bad as they used to be. I'm not as high and low and obsessive as I was in the past, and thank God, because that's just a miserable way of life. But I was a pretty unstable guy, but I've been growing a little bit unstable, that I actually had a yelling attack with my dad, telling him that it's unfair that he confines me at the house, even though it's not really his fault exactly. But the lease kind of irritates me, and I wish I could just go wherever, even if it's far away. And the thing is, I probably should just get a job and just work, but the problem is I don't know if I want to just give it all up, because then it's another ego identity thing, because I'm basically giving up my whole identity of all the creative stuff that I've been working for 12 fucking years, and I end up crying about it. Nancy did mention that I should just focus on one thing, and there's 24 hours a day, and I should have 13 hours just to focus on one thing, but I think that might kill me, because I like to work out, and I don't know, I just like to take it easy. I don't like to have that laser focus. Maybe I don't even know if I ever will make money. Maybe I don't know if I will ever support anyone. So I guess this is the kind of issue with my brother and I, because deep down, when his ex came over, I was worried that his ex wanted a baby from, she was Korean, and she wanted a baby, and none of them could work, and I was always worried about that one of them just had to work. And in the end, even though with the situation I'm in, one is willing to work, but there's still a guilt factor of that I'm not helping her out, not helping her give her a big home, not helping her give her the freedom, where she's working hard all the time. And that's why I ended up crying, saying, I'm sorry. And I think both of us felt like there's a deep empty hole between us, because deep down we didn't know if we could give each other what we wanted. So we thought that we should just let each other go, but in the end it didn't really happen. The day we broke up, she actually called me, like making sure I was home, and she actually called me in the morning. Things were actually okay on Friday, but then it just got back and forth where I started to see my space, and in her mind she felt like I don't know, we were just both fucking confused, and even though we care a lot about each other, we just know we can't give each other what we want originally. So Friday we went to the car show, and she claims that now she doesn't care about kids, and what set me off was Dad said there's something weird about that, nothing, and he was warning me don't have kids and whatnot, and he was telling Mom that, and they agreed that I'm probably better off holding my ground and not having children. But right now I still feel like it's a lot of my own guilt factor. Should I really stop this woman who I care about from living the dreams? If she wants to be a mother and have a baby, I feel like with her being with me, knowing I don't want kids, and that's a red flag for a lot of relationships, is one wants kids, the other doesn't. Does it mean that one's right or wrong? I don't know, not really, because I didn't grow up with kids. I just see them as a huge stressor. I consider them as a huge stressor to my mental health. I will lose freedom, which is my biggest value, and I feel restricted, and I'll get even more unhappy. So I felt like I had to push myself to be this morning riser, to be this 8-hour person, which is funny because Nancy never forced me to change my lifestyle at all. She mentioned that she wants me to challenge myself, but she never said I had to do anything. In fact, when I got cold feet on that job, for that IT job, about to talk to the recruiter, I just said, fuck it, I want to work on my CAD story stuff. Why am I wasting time? So right now we're at the moment where we're taking the step back. I spent with the weekend with her. I ended up moving all my shit out of her house, and I don't know if I regret it. Maybe it was just this has just been weighing on my mind. Just kids is the totally opposite of what I think I am. I like my free-form lifestyle. I like my freedom. It's been good on my mental health. And her being a normal functioning person, she's wondering if maybe I'm better off with someone with disability and one that doesn't want kids. I don't know, but I have to be into that person, and that sucks because I'm into Nancy. I think she's really attractive. I like her personality. She's a great cook. She's a very caring person, but the fact that she wants kids, it just totally weighed on my mind, and I just don't know what to do, and I was lost. And I feel like right now I wanted to mention that I think this day and age, the men aren't shit these days. To be honest, I think it's the women that are actually doing well for themselves, getting educated, having high-paid jobs, and the men are just kind of lazy and don't have drive. And I guess I'm part of that prospect, unfortunately. I don't know if there's some societal issue with the mental health of men in general, or the toxic masculinity. I don't know. That's another topic to talk about. And I guess I thought about it. Do I want to lose this person? And she wanted me to fight for her. And I feel like I was actually being selfless, even though she probably thinks I'm selfish, even though I hurted her by letting her go at that point, because I felt like maybe she deserved better, someone that can work the 8 to 5, that one wants to be early riser with her, that wants to have kids with her. Like, ain't me being with her is preventing her from how she wants to live her life and achieve her dreams. And it's me and my own guilt factor that I have to learn to let go and accept that fact. So right now she's okay with kids. I don't know what you want to label us. I told her I'm not going to date anyone else. I'm not going to have sex with anyone else. I'm not going to even talk to anyone else. I just want to work on my CAD shit and my videos without feeling like this back and forth shit, being sucked by the car. It's just been fucking annoying, and it's draining going back and forth. And I'm attached to my dad. I'm attached to my brother. I worry about him because he was suicidal in the past, and I feel like I want to still remain close to him because we do a lot of stuff. He's manning the camera, and my dad still needs a lot of help at the house. And I yelled at my dad saying that it's unfair that Travis can't date. It's unfair that he gets stuck doing chores for dad, but in the end he's happy and doing dual beats and stuff, making music, and thank God for that, because I don't know what the fuck I would do. I wouldn't be able to visit my girlfriend at all. If he had a girlfriend, he wouldn't be able to do anything, and that's what sucks. I was projecting on that factor. So that's where I'm at right now. We had a really good weekend. We actually went to an event on Saturday. We just slept pretty much and just talked. We drunk a little bit, but we knew deep down when we think about each other, we thought something was lost, that we thought we were just going to lose each other, but it had to come out up front. The truth will set you free, and it just had to be something, even though if it's a difficult topic. I know a lot of other people had reached out to me. They said you should never have kids with someone that you don't love, and then there's other perspectives that having kids was a great thing for them, and it gives them meaning in life, which is great. But I don't know, with me, even though she feels like, even though I'm good with taking care of my animals and dogs and taking care of my dad, kids are just way above my radar that I don't think I could do it, even if I did try to challenge myself. So I guess her value system was God, having family, getting married, and mine was about absolute freedom, my creative stuff, and my creative stuff is actually my children itself. So I still want time to do that. I still want to make videos like this. I still want to share my life, and eventually she did say that she wants to do a vlog with me, and I wanted to thank my brother for doing his vlog yesterday, which was about incels. Incels are basically dudes that feel like they're too ugly, unattractive, too poor to get a woman, and women only like chads with a lot of money, which could be partly true, but I really like the fact that Travis took a positive step. I think the reason why I've been so scared of letting go of Nancy is maybe I feel like I can't find anyone better. Perhaps that's not the truth. But right now, wouldn't say our relationship's on the rocks. Our friendship's pretty good. Right now, she wants to meet her drug addict ex, and I said, I'm gonna stay out of it. I know there's still stones left unturned, and she knows how I feel about it. I feel like drug addicts are best just solving it themselves, because in the end, I think she might find herself in a world of pain like I was, because in the end, addicts won't change for anyone except till they change themselves. And I guess it'll just be up to her if she wants to go into that kind of deal. But right now, I feel like I'm giving her she doesn't know, since we're not dating, she's gonna meet him soon, and then she had a question if she's okay if she has sex with him, and I said, I don't know. I already said, I know how she knows how I feel about him. It's probably not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna lead to a world of hurt. I don't know if she wants me to commit to her, but I feel like right now we need to have this space. We'll still see each other on the weekends, but I still feel like I want to give her this grace period to see if there is somebody better, to see if somebody's better, I guess, for her, because I worry about her, because she just moved out. She lives in her house. She's not that close to her family, and I feel bad because she's alone by herself. Personally, it would be better if we were in the same house where I could be with my brother and stuff, but I know it never worked with my dad when my girlfriends lived over, and it just didn't work out, especially with rent, because my dad's pretty stickler about that. But anyway, it's also people don't like that. I don't think people like living with their parents. So Travis and I live in a very unique situation. But anyway, I brought up numerous topics. This is what I've been struggling with. I guess some advice is, like my dad said, stay true to yourself, hold your ground. And I was listening to a podcast of this lady. She's a Pakistani woman that had a really bad, tragic car accident that made her paralyzed from the waist down, and she was about to die. She can't move or do anything, or did. And the worst part is she couldn't do art anymore, and she was told that she couldn't have children. But she went on TED Talks in 2015, and she's done really well for herself. She found out she can still do art, and a lot of people are buying it. She's successful, and she did adopt and have kids, and she learned to face that fear. With me and my brother, we don't like to face our fear. We just like to keep things as is. We just like to be carefree and just do whatever. But it made me feel better about myself, because deep down, like my brother said, his video made me feel really better about myself. It's about being grateful for what I have. Right now, I always still have my hobbies. Even though if I feel lonely, they'll always be with me. I don't need somebody, although I think I would miss the connection. I miss the intimacy. I miss the sex. I miss the companionship, because even with my brother at home, it's not been enough. I feel like I want the freedom to do whatever I want, but I've been in the struggle about trying to get off disability, and that too, that's been weighing on my mind. Whether the girlfriend, whether I should stay with her or not, because I know her and I had different values. But right now I feel like I just have to give her freedom to find herself. Deep down I told her I likely won't change. She probably knows I won't change. I'm going to still be where I'm at, but I don't know if she'll ever be happy with that. So I want to give her freedom, and I don't want to hold her back. Like, I don't want to control her in that way. So I don't know. What's your perspective, Travis? Is there anything that you want to add, or do you feel like there's something that I'm missing, or what's other questions of what you think I should add, or what's your perspective of how nuts I went about me finding a therapist and stuff, and what do you think?
I don't know. I think my best advice is to stay out of it, because this isn't my relationship. Like I told Dad, he's too much in your space, and that's the whole reason why you're going ape shit.
So you think it's okay if I just go back and forth and like that? Travis has been really happy.
I think it's annoying that you commit and not commit. Just seeing all that on Facebook is actually really annoying.
Does it stress you out?
No, it's just annoying.
Oh. Well, anyway, I think this is the end of the video. I don't know if I have any other advice aside from just hang in there, stay true to yourself. Deep down, I know I'm a creative person. I can't give that up. Like I told Nancy, I cried to her. I just can't be that 8 to 5. So deep down, I told her I can't be that 8 to 5. I cried to her, saying that she deserves so much more. I can't give her what I feel like she deserves. And I ended up crying, and I just broke it off. And it was super sad. I feel like less than a person. I feel like I failed. She said she thought she failed, even though she gave me the world, giving me a place to work, giving me a free place to be free from my family. But I guess I don't know if I love her enough, or like she says, to have kids with her, because that would make her happy, even though she's willing to do all the sacrifice. But deep down, I have to stay true to myself. I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to be that dude that feels like he has to work and go homeless, and be a person that deep down I know what makes me happy. I like to be free, and I like to do my videos. I don't want to be tied down to kids. I just want to do what the hell I want, and I can't have that guilt factor of me holding her back. So right now, we're still good friends. She's gonna help us do these videos, but I did tell her if she does date someone else, we will have to distance ourselves, and she can't hang out with us as much, because deep down she's just gonna have to hopefully find someone that's better for her, that has a better match, I guess. But in the end, I still love her. I still care about her, I guess, in my own way, even though she feels like I don't love her and care about her. She argued that there's someone that was kind of complaining that why is she stressing me out by having the kid after 2 months. And she got really mad when I wouldn't defend her. And there's other times she felt like I didn't understand her. And like with her job, I told her to stay. And she really doesn't like people talking shit about her friends and her loved ones. She gets kind of curtailed. But with me, I just feel like people are just going to say what they say. In the end, deep down, I know what I want, I guess. I just like to live a life carefree. I don't have these big goals to be this big superstar. Yeah, recognition is great. I do get some of that. I appreciate that. People do see some of my talents. I would like more. I probably do got to work a little bit harder, but I'm just going to keep at it. But I don't want that other pressure of leaving my passions for working like the normal job. And deep down, I know I'm not those normal type people. Travis and I are both unorthodox. So my biggest advice for everyone else, even Nancy, is just stay true to yourself. Even if you have differences, you can try to work it out, but deep down you got to go with what you want. Don't let anything hold you back. All right, this is Kyle with me on Bipolar Blog. If you really like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you find yourself in, what I want to know is, with mental health, if you have mental health issues, has relationships benefited you, or have they made you worse? Have you found yourself more stable being single, or have you found someone that worked out? Have you been in relationships where they wanted something and you don't want something, like kids, and were you guys able to work it out? Were you guys able to stay? Was there a guilt factor that you're preventing someone to have kids? Was there resentment? Let us know. I love doing these conversations. So anyway, you have a great day. This is Kyle with Beyond Bipolar Bond. Peace.